Hey guys, welcome to Get Lucid TV. This is episode 14. My name is Lana Sackwald, for those of you who I haven't connected with before. I've been doing this for a little over a year now, which is completely mad. And it's been so great connecting with everyone for this past year in the online space. I'm definitely missing connecting with people in person, but it's also been a blessing that, you know, during this time, a lot of us have gone inwards, and part of my journey with that is creating something like this, starting up this Get Lucid TV series. And I just want to firstly say thank you so much, genuinely, to everyone who has messaged me saying that you're really enjoying this series. I love seeing your messages. I love seeing your progress with all the resources that I share every episode. And it's great to hear all that feedback and success as well. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you're a GLTV fan, let me know if you're here. Say hi. Give me a hashtag live if you're live. Give me a hashtag replay if you're watching this on replay. I'd love to see who's tuning in. I have been having an amazing week this week because it is springtime here in Colorado. Give me some hearts or sunshine emojis if you can relate to this. I'm one of those whatever you call it, sad people, the seasonal affective disorder kind of people for sure. I'm originally from London, and so I grew up in the gray weather, and I definitely don't feel as good during those darker months of the year. So I am blessed to be here and spoiled in sunny Colorado, where it's sunshine for 300 days of the year, and I'm now getting my springtime sunshine overload, so feeling really good. Went for a run this morning, and this spring is particularly special for me because my veggies have started blooming for the first time ever. I feel like that's a really good sign of success and manifestation for me, because I have never been good with this. My squash plant has a huge yellow flower. My pea plant has some white flowers and peas coming out of it. And I had no idea that peas grew out of flowers. I don't know if any of you guys knew that, but I didn't. Anyway, I think everyone is tuning in now. This is working. So I want to just jump start this training, a really important topic on 10K months. Are you someone dreaming of 10K months? This episode, I want to share some really practical resources for a lot of what changed to get me to this kind of point where 10K months was achievable. And I want to talk a lot more about what happens beyond that as well, which I don't think is a conversation many people have. One of the reasons that I think a lot of people follow me is because, or, you know, watch what I'm creating, is because they are inspired on how I quit my day job. I went full-time in my business. I started making more and more income each week, and sometimes even in a single day, than I would at my previous typical 9-to-5 jobs. Then I would make more in a week or in a day than I would make working 9-to-5 in an entire month. And doing all that, doing the thing that I love most, which is lucid dreaming and lucid living coaching, producing research in this field and connecting and contributing back to a community that I truly, absolutely adore. So, you know, there's nothing better than living a life where you're getting paid for doing something that, quite honestly, you know, I would do this for free. So I want to address the 10K month subject because I think this is something that people get really enticed by, especially when they're, in a field that they're not enjoying or not getting paid well for. Start thinking about all the different things they could do and the kind of life that they could live if they were running a business that created this kind of income for them. It sounds great, right? Doing what you love and being paid well for it. Give me some flames in the chat if this is a goal of yours or if this is something that sounds good to you. Let me know if that's why you're tuning in, or if you are someone who's actively working towards 10K months, or are you beyond that, nowhere near that. Kind of give me a ranking of 1 to 10, whether you're live or on replay, where you're at with that kind of goal. For most people, a 6-figure income is something that is a really, really big goal. And a lot of people think, well, if I had that, I would be able to make this wonderful life for myself, a life of financial freedom. And so that's one of the things that I want, just one part of this episode that I want you to get really lucid on, is why you've decided this is a goal for yourself, maybe a first kind of milestone, and what it really is that you think 10K will give you, 10K months will give you. Because if this is a goal of yours, you should know exactly why it's your goal and what that goal is taking you towards beyond just that figure in your bank account. A lot of people that I work with, particularly the entrepreneurs in my 12-week online course, the Lucid Entrepreneur Lab, they're working on something for their business, right? And they start it up and they're saying, yeah, one of my first milestones or my first goals is to get a 6-figure income with this, or get to those 10K months. But when I ask them, why, it all gets kind of a little bit wishy-washy, and they're just like, oh, well, I don't know, I want to live my life freely, all of that. But honestly, if you want to hit any goal in your life and you're very wishy-washy about why it is that goal specifically, or how to get there, or what it is you will achieve when you do so, if you're not clear about it, it's so much harder to hit any goal at all. So in today's training, I really want to focus in on 3 steps, 3 super simple steps that you need to be considering. And these steps are what I believe will actually be the most beneficial for you to really keep in mind if you want to hit those 10K months and even beyond that. So what I'm going to share can, one, absolutely get you towards those kind of income goals, but it actually goes a little bit deeper than the surface level idea surrounding 10K months. And I think this is something that a lot of coaches or high income leaders don't often share about. So that's why I want to share it today. And these are 3 really key things that, when I look back on my personal entrepreneurial journey, made a really big difference to me with income. Obviously, I can't go into as much personalized details for each person tuning in as I can when I'm working with students or clients one-on-one, but I think we can cover some pretty good ground together. So welcome if you're tuning in, and let's get started. So number 1, my first point, is gaining lucidity surrounding who you serve and who you sell to. If you don't know what your service is or who you are specifically providing that service to, then it's so much more difficult to reach anybody at all, right? You want the people who you are looking to genuinely help know that you are speaking directly to them, or it should feel for them like you're speaking directly to them. So I can't speak for you guys, but putting myself as the example, for me, anyone who is into using lucid dreaming or lucid living practices for things like self-development, business development, spiritual development, they will know within one conversation with me that I can help them reach massive success with the goals they have in these areas. And similarly, any entrepreneur that I work with who hasn't necessarily tried out lucid dreaming or lucid living practices before, after having one conversation with them, they can be 100% sure of seeing how it can genuinely benefit them on their entrepreneurial journey and their business. They will then, definitely book a session with me to at least give it a go and see the results for themselves. Why? It's because I'm 100% confident about what I offer, who it can help, how, and why. If you can explain that to people, they can know within one single conversation if you're the right person for them to work with to reach those massive goals, create massive success for themselves, and they're going to want to invest in you to do that. If you're focused on who you can truly help and how you can truly help them, the income is going to flow. But even more important is that you start receiving a payment that is actually much deeper than this, much deeper than any paycheck that comes through the door. And that payment is actually the ability to connect and serve others and help them create impact and success in this world. I mostly work with people who are helping themselves so that they can help other people rise up as well. And to me, this is something that is much, much, much more satisfying than, to be honest, any paycheck that I can ever receive. And if you're someone who hasn't started making a lot of money, you might disagree, you might not feel like that yet, you might be like, yeah, sure, but the paycheck would be great. But I think once you do start making that kind of income, if you're genuine about your services, I think you'll agree with me. We've all seen those kinds of coaches, teachers, courses out there which are focused on sales over service. They're sales over serving oriented. And it doesn't matter who comes into their course, they don't get to know the person, they just want them to sign up for the thing, put the money through. Doesn't matter whether they know it's going to genuinely help this person or not. And although it might seem like these kind of coaches are initially making a lot of money, they're going to quickly get a huge slap from reality. You don't want to get yourself involved with one of these coaches, and you don't want to become one of these coaches or teachers either, right? Because if you get yourself in a situation where you're working with someone and you've made it sound like to them that you can actually help them when you couldn't, and you need to be clear about who you can help and why genuinely, because otherwise you're gonna have, you'll do the sales, great, whatever, you get that initial income coming through from the people who sign up, but then you get a whole row of people who will ask for refunds, they're gonna give you terrible reviews, they're gonna leave you with very little integrity, and you then have this whole group of people who begin avoiding you at all costs in the future. It is much, much more beneficial for yourself, for everyone else involved, and for the future of your income and where you're at, to just know your unique talents, your unique skills, your expertise, who your service works for, why, and how. When you have total confidence in that, you can create both income and impact with complete ease. Also, if you're new to something, or if you're trying to build something up and you're like, I don't even have any unique skills or talents, I'm not an expert in anything, I promise you absolutely do. You just haven't been able to work out what exactly that is yet. And if you want help with working that out, please message me. I will absolutely help you to do that. So for me, again, going back to my example, everyone who works with me will know that I have a pretty hefty filtration system. We've probably chatted in the DMs before. Maybe you filled out an initial consultation form with me, and then, or a course application or something like that, or retreat application. Then I will usually get on a private call with you to just get to know each other a little bit more. And only when I am 100% confident that I can definitely create success for you, help you get to the goals you want to achieve, help you get those results, only then would I offer you a place in a program or a retreat or working together one-on-one. If you are someone who doesn't have this kind of system in place, you cannot be certain about who you're here to serve, who you're here to help, and therefore you can have no idea about really where your income is going to come from in the first place. So that's my point 1. Point 2 is about something that I call archetypal hats, and exactly where and when to wear them. If you're starting up a business and you're selling a product, or actually just in any career in general, whether you're just someone creative, you're at a professional stage of your life, or you're someone who's going to be wanting to wear different hats for the different things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis. You need to be putting on different roles, essentially, for whatever you are working on. So, for example, some of the day you might be wearing a marketing hat. So you might be looking at, how do I generate leads? How do I create conscious connections with people that I want to work with? What kind of messages do I want to put out on my Instagram, my Facebook? What stuff do I want to tell people so that they know who I am and what I offer? If you're a musician, you might be thinking about what kind of music you want to create, what vibe you're creating. If you're an artist, it might be thinking about the pieces that will fit your theme for this month, what product people are looking at during this season of their life. Another example of a hat is you might have a coaching hat, right? So for me, this hat is the hat I put on when I'm working one-to-one with people or in a group. I'm not in marketing mode with this hat on, right? It's a different version of myself. This hat requires me to step into that part of myself that probably shines most brightly. It's the part that people connect with me, and choose why they want to work with me over someone else. When they choose you specifically and you're wearing this hat, you're going to be someone who's sharing the resources, problem solving with them, giving them advice, helping them cultivate massive success, results. It's this part of you that might have a switch where you're ready to call people out when you're wearing this hat. And depending on the kind of practitioner that you are, when you wear this hat, you might be in that super fierce mode, accepting no excuses, no BS. You won't accept anything less than the absolute best for this person when you have that hat on. You guys probably getting a good feel for what the coaching hat turns me into right now. But it's different for absolutely everyone. And you most certainly have a business mode hat yourself, or a working hat. It's also crucial that during this process you have things like a self-care hat to put on. This one gets left out so much of the time when people are really giving their all to their business. They never put that self-care hat on, and they're just go, go, go. Little do they realize that if you're not putting that self-care hat on, your business isn't going anywhere but to Burnout City, pretty much. If you're someone who doesn't know how to turn it off, if you've still got your marketing hat on at 10 p.m. each night, if you're still trying to post stuff on Facebook when your office hours are supposed to be done, you will not hit that 10K mark. I promise you now. No matter how far you think you're going with it, it's not going to happen. It's not possible. If you don't know how to take care of yourself, you won't hit that mark. And even on the off chance that you do hit it, you won't even have the space or the time in your life to enjoy it when it happens. You'll just be on to the next thing, right? So lots of people mix this stuff up. They can't differentiate between the hats that they're wearing during different times of the day, and they get frustrated when they're not getting the results, and they start thinking that the offer that they have or the business model that they have isn't working. And it's not that at all. It's that you might have a really good offer or a really great business that can genuinely really help people. But if you're a hot mess in the process, that's not attractive. People can sense that from a mile away. They know you're a hot mess. They can see your marketing is all over the place. They can tell that you're sleeping 4 to 6 hours a night and that you haven't taken a vacation in the past 6 to 8 months. Does that sound like the kind of person that you would invest in? I sincerely hope not, but I'm gonna say no. People are pretty smart. People can tell when someone's got their shit together and when someone is a hot mess. And if you haven't got your shit together, I'm gonna call it, got the coaching hat on for myself. People fucking know that. You can't fake that shit. It would be like a health coach offering this weight loss program, this incredible weight loss program, and yet there's someone who's 20 pounds overweight and they stay up every night eating chocolate and watching Netflix to 3 a.m. It just makes no fucking sense. So if you are someone who cannot separate the business time, the marketing time, the coaching time, the friend time, if you can't put on or tell the difference between your hats, if you don't even know how many hats you wear at one time, your message is going to be a mess. Your life is going to be chaotic. There is nothing worse. Tell me if you resonate with this, right? There's nothing worse than that coach who has their coaching hat on when they're supposed to be having just like weekend hat on and chilling out time, right? We all know that guy or that girl. So start dressing for success. That's my point of this one. Know your hats. Let people feel where you are at and which one you actually have on. Let your partner feel it. Let your friends feel it. Let your parents feel it. Let your clients feel it. And most importantly, let yourself feel it. And I guess my most important hat for this resource is that you 100% want a celebration hat in your wardrobe for actually putting on when you hit those massive 10K income months and beyond. And if you follow this procedure from this episode, you will absolutely have one for yourself. And I recommend that more than anything, actually. There's a lot of people who go through this process and then they get the income that they wanted at the beginning or whatever, and they're not even in that place to celebrate it at all or feel happy about it. And so what's the fucking point? And then point number 3 is creating conscious connections. You can have the best course in the world or the best product in the world, but if you don't know how to put it in front of people, how to put yourself in front of people, no one will know it exists. And as much as, you know, this could be seen by a lot of people as a marketing or a lead generation kind of thing, I actually think that this step is more of a personal mindset type thing. I am not in sales. I have never been in sales. I never will be in sales. You know, I don't like that kind of vibe. I don't want to generate leads. Do you know why? It's because I do not need to. And I don't think you need to either. So for any of these people who are anyone who's tuning into this and is like, oh, I've been told to get a funnel, I've been told I have to make this kind of specific sales page, I've been told I need Facebook ads, all this stuff, that is bullshit. Everything you need, you already have. And you only need to work on roughing out the edges on how it is that you deliver that. But it comes from you. If you have total clarity and total confidence about who you are, what you do, what you offer, how it helps, who it helps, the leads are generated for you, right? You shine through with the people that you're making connections with. You should feel like shouting from the rooftops about what you have to offer, especially if it benefits others. I am 100% one of those people that, you know, if you're friends with me in real life or if you chat with me online, you know that I don't shut up about dream work and lucid living, lucid dreaming. I live it, I breathe it, I share it, because there is not a lucid dreaming or lucid living practice that I don't have that doesn't relate to something someone else is experiencing. It's such a great modality to connect with people. Everyone dreams. It's like our birthright. So it's a fantastic way for me to make connections. And whatever thing it is that you are passionate about or that you're looking to share or spread to people because it can help them, you need to get behind feeling the same way about it. This means that, you know, I'll make lives for my YouTube channel, or I'll sit on Facebook and do a live like this, or be on Clubhouse and chat with people about this stuff for hours and hours and hours. And whilst you are, you know, technically not being paid for that, right, in that moment, the connections that you can make through this process and the people that potentially may work with you or choose to work with you, quite frankly, that's priceless in my books. You know, sometimes I've ended up making thousands of dollars in a day just from genuinely wanting to form those kind of connections, or genuinely giving people advice or sharing with them about how this practice could actually transform their life, for wanting to share resources, for wanting to share material, for wanting to build relationships with this kind of community. Have you ever in your life wanted to sign up for someone's course when they've sent you one of those like robotic kind of messages where you know that they just copy pasted it to like 100 different people? No. Have you ever wanted to sign up to a course with someone who sounds like a robot or spells your name wrong or whatever, doesn't give an actual shit about who you are? No. Who are the people that you absolutely love connecting with? Who are the entrepreneurs or business owners or researchers or artists or musicians that you are truly inspired by? What is it about those people that you are attracted to? In the Lucid Entrepreneur Lab, my 12-week course, we use lucid dreaming and lucid living conscious coaching practices for self-development, for business breakthroughs, for spiritual development, for transpersonal advancement. And I coach so much on this point, making conscious connections with people and actually building a proper relationship with self and other, because you can have a million ideas in your back pocket, but if you don't know how to do any of the steps that I've mentioned in this video, you might not necessarily see a dime from it. And making the connections is a huge part of that, being able to genuinely connect to someone. If you know how to do all of the points above, you can forget about 10K months. I promise you, you could make 10K in minutes. So especially if you clicked on this video because you've been caught in the 10K months goals group I think that these are at least 3 things that are necessary to actually focus your mind on and take you much further beyond just this 10K income month goal type thing. So to summarize that for any of you who joined in late, the first point is really knowing who you serve, right? Don't aim for just everyone and anyone. There's going to be people you can help, there's going to be people you can't help, and there's going to be people that massively benefit from what you do and people who don't. Be clear about what you offer, who you can help, why, and how. Don't get yourself into a mess with selling to just anyone or getting just anyone in your course or to buy your product or whatever. It doesn't work for everyone. You will get bad reviews. People will feel like you tricked them. You don't want to be in that boat. Trust yourself and help the people who you can genuinely help and serve, and that will not only get you income flowing naturally, but once again you get that paycheck of helping someone to succeed, which is so much more rewarding. Point 2 is really knowing yourself and caring for yourself. The archetypal hats point. Business can be fucking hard, but you do not have to make it harder for yourself. Take care of yourself so that you can actually better take care of others. One of those basic fundamental points that is so often skipped. If you're a total hot mess, get help. Ask for help. Invest in a coach or a program that can actually give you guidance. It can keep you accountable and it can fast track your way to success. Don't wear your marketing hat or your coaching hat around your friends. Take the weekends to be a friend, be a good person, be at one with yourself. Wear your coaching hat when you're with your clients, wear your artist hat when you're creating art. But remember that you can dress for success in each moment and there should be different roles. You should know the difference between them. And point 3 is about really making and creating those conscious, authentic connections. Like I said, doesn't matter if you have $1 million idea, if you don't know how to connect with people and you don't know how to share it, it's not going to make you a dime. But I really hope that the main point you are taking away from this session is that satisfaction, it really doesn't come from income. My biggest celebrations do not come from making a sale or from someone signing up for my course or a retreat or working with me in private coaching. Of course, I'm over the moon, happy, excited to work with them. But the big celebrations, they come when I have my student or my client or someone in the course, the retreat or whatever, having that massive success moment, achieving that goal, receiving the results. When they have a breakthrough, when they hit those goals, that's when I'm like, I can't stop moving around. I'm feeling it. I'm like waving to people down the street like it's a sunny day. I'm buzzing from those moments. So, also what I want you to take away from this is that you don't need a fucking marketing funnel or Facebook ads or a sales page that looks like everyone else's. You need to know who you are, what you offer, and where and how to offer it. You also might have to, another thing that might come up for you in terms of this is that maybe you're not sure about exactly who you are and what it is that you can offer. And maybe you know what it is, but you're not entirely certain about how to get there. You might have some blockages, physical, mental, emotional, trauma, or things to overcome before moving into that. So, if there are things you need to work through, or if you'd like someone to really guide you through some of that to get you to that starting point where you can just skyrocket without all the trial and error, if you want to, fast pass just to bring everything that we've discussed in this together full circle, and if that's you, if you fit that kind of description, You might be someone who works really, really well with myself and all of the other incredible entrepreneurs and big dreamers and creative minds inside the Lucid Entrepreneur Lab. And I want to mention before we finish up that the next round is currently open for an April 12th start date. We are gonna fill up. Super excited about April 12th because it's International Lucid Dreaming Day, so it's a pretty fantastic day to kickstart that journey, really, isn't it? So we're already way over halfway full. This round is gonna for sure sell out as well. So if you would like more information on that, send me a message below or comment or DM me. I'm ready to dream big, and we can get this conversation started for how to create a life for you that is so much bigger than this like get to that 10K months kind of bullshit. It will create you an income, but more than that, it's gonna create you a massive impact in this world, a life full of dreaming, working, breathing, living lucidly. So if you enjoyed this training today, and if you think there's other people who would benefit from it, please tag a friend below, share it in a group, share it on your page, post it in your story, tag me. Like I said at the beginning, I love seeing you guys working through this stuff and actually seeing you put the resources to work and it getting results for you. Make sure you subscribe for updates like this or other videos. I have this whole series, if you enjoyed this one, up on my YouTube channel, which is under my business name, Get Lucid with Lana. And if I haven't personally connected with you before, send me a message, say hi, let me know what you thought. If you're a GLTV fan, I'm always open to feedback, and like I said at the beginning, I absolutely love receiving messages from you guys and hearing how you're doing. So let me know if you tuned in as well. And that's it from me today. So wishing you guys a week full of big dreams, lucidity, and abundance.